Pitching Ninja. Pitching Ninja. We got sliders and fastballs and curveballs too. When you step in the box, man, you're gonna be through. It's the Pitching Ninja.
Hey everybody, welcome to the inaugural Pitching Ninja Show, brought to you by Momentum. I am Pitching Ninja, and I'm super excited to bring you this show. We're going to be highlighting all the cool stuff going on this season. I'm going to be bringing you awesome guests, and we're going to be taking your questions. With me, as always, is my producer, Will Leahy, who needs a nickname. So y'all leave him a cool nickname in the comments. He won't be offended in the least by anything you come up with. Hey, Will.
Hey, Ninja, really set me up for failure here with the with the nicknames. I was just wondering kind of what you think about the new memo that MLB put out regarding pitchers using sticky stuff.
Dude, I get asked that question all the time. And I think it's a really interesting subject. First, let's go back. Let's go back to why there's even a rule on this. A couple of years ago, I got asked that question. Went back through baseball history, talked to baseball historian John Thorne. And the main reasons for the rule, even to begin with, were number one, because it is unsanitary. The spitting on the ball, doing all that stuff, which I guess in a COVID world makes some sense, right? But we're talking more than spitballs. They talked about the lack of pitcher control, that basically putting stuff on the ball introduces a whole lack of command, which is kind of the opposite of what we're doing now when we're putting more sticky stuff on it. So when you're putting sticky stuff on the ball, it actually can increase your command and increase spin rate. So I don't even think that that applies. But the last thing was it makes hitting worse. And that was one of the reasons why they introduced that rule. And yeah, I mean, like putting sticky stuff on the ball does make hitting worse. So I get the idea of maybe introducing that rule. The enforcement part's going to be tough, though. Like, I mean, are people going to narc on you? Is there going to be like, there's going to be someone in the clubhouse watching what's going on? They're looking at anomalies, statistical anomalies on spin rates. So if you've been using something your whole career, does that mean that you're like exempt, you're grandfathered in, kind of like the old spitball guys were grandfathered in back in the day? And is that the right thing? Is that the right way to even look at this thing? It's kind of interesting because there's other things that affect the spin of the ball that isn't even a foreign substance. Mixing sunscreen and rosin creates a whole sticky substance. But is it a foreign substance? I don't even know the definition of foreign substance. Is sweat a foreign substance? Are we going to start outlawing sweaty balls?
No one can resist my sweaty balls.
I don't think that that's something, but sweat actually does decrease spin rate. So if you're a changeup pitcher, you may want to introduce some sweat on your hand. The ball sticks less to your hand and will drop more. So I think it's a tough thing to regulate. That's a long way of saying that, but there's a lot of complexity to this problem, isn't there?
There's the side of everyone's breaking the rules, so we should let it slide. And I kind of disagree with that because it's like, yeah, well, everybody breaks the speed limit. But if you got rid of the speed limit, then we can't just have everybody driving 100 miles an hour. What's your plan going forward? Is it to eliminate it entirely, or do you think they're making the right steps? Where do you stand?
My plan is pitchers should... No, I think my plan is you're right. And this is the unfortunate thing, that the rule is on the books. So do only pitchers that follow the rules have to follow that and everybody else can cheat? That seems wrong. Like, it seems to be that the honest pitcher shouldn't be at a disadvantage. So if you're going to have that rule, it seems like you should enforce it. But there are other rules on the books that aren't enforced, like fraternization. Like, players aren't allowed in the MLB rules to talk to one another while they're wearing uniforms. Like, that's not enforced. And you mentioned the speed limit. If I go 58, yeah, I'm breaking the rules in a 55. But I don't know. Like, to me, I lean towards what you just said. Like, if you're going to have the rule, there's got to be some degree of enforcement. Baseball has not enforced this at all, unless it was obvious, like on Pineda's neck or something like that. But I think introducing this new level of scrutiny may cause unwanted problems. I think it was John Smoltz. I hope Smoltz doesn't kill me for saying this, but he said, like, when pitchers hit, he would grab the bat and say, hey, it's not a foreign substance I'm hitting. I may hit without gloves. So now I have pine tar on my hand. And there may be some pitches that happen to have a higher spin rate because of that. So I think it's going to be tricky, but you're 100% right. Like if you're going to have a rule, what sense is having a rule if you're not going to enforce that rule? And if only the rule followers are going to follow it and everybody else is going to ignore it. Just doesn't seem right.
I want to ask you what you're most looking forward to about this this MLB season that starts tomorrow.
So there are so many things I'm looking forward to this season. As you can tell, I am amped up for this to happen. Things like the White Sox bullpen. I mean, they not only added Liam Hendricks, but their depth is incredible. And I don't think everybody realizes how good they're going to be. Then you have pitchers, my guys, Marcus Stroman adding a split change, which he threw it and everybody's like, that might be his nastiest pitch. Lance McCullers adding a slider that I don't think you guys have noticed how good that pitch is going to be. But we will kick off this list at number 5 with the GOAT, Jacob deGrom. Is he going to continue his ascent in pitching velocity to, like, where does he go next? He threw 102 last year. He threw 102 in spring training at not max effort, supposedly. Like, what is the ceiling for this guy? Is he just some kind of freak dude that's going to continue to go up and up and up as he ages? Is he going to throw like 150 when he's 45? At some point, he's got it. There has to be a ceiling, but I don't know where that ceiling is. And I apologize to GOAT for putting you 5 at anything. You're number 1 in my heart. Number 4 is the rise of hitters, the young hitters in the league. I love watching, like, I'm a pitching guy. We all know that. But I love energy in the game. I love people that are doing fun stuff. I like to be entertained. And I think we all do. And watching Tatis and Acuna and Soto, yeah, even the Soto shuffle when he takes a pitch and stares back at you, like I think that's awesome. Like, create a cage match mentality between pitchers and hitters. I love it. I look forward to watching a full season of all that. Number 3, return of the legend, Jordan Hicks. Like, Jordan Hicks does things with a baseball that nobody's ever seen. His sinker movement. Now he's going to be throwing more four-seamers. His slider is off the charts. I don't think people realize how good that dude is. And I think we're just scratching the surface. I love watching him pitch, and I think he's someone to watch out for this year. Number 2, the Padres-Dodgers rivalry. This is going to be a ton of fun. Like, you have top starters in the league going at each other, going against the top hitters in the league over and over and over again. Not only that, but a ton of flair on both teams. So watching those guys play, that's going to be a highlight for me. And I think everybody needs to pay attention to that rivalry. And number 1, dun, 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 dun. That was a bad dun, 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 dun. Like, I got to step up my game. If I'm going to have my own show, it's going to be better than that. Number 1, I am really excited to see Shohei Ohtani on both sides of the ball for a full season. The dude is absolutely filthy on the bump. I don't know if people realize how good he is. When he was coming over, he was viewed as like a once-in-a-lifetime pitcher, and they're like, he'll never hit major league pitching. And then you watch him, and he's hitting the ball over center field batter's eye. Off the best pitchers in the game. So watching him, watching that splitter, watching his 100+ mile-an-hour fastball and just ridiculous slider. And then, shoot, I love watching him hit because it's to me, it's another pitcher who rakes. Like, he's a pitcher first. In my heart and my mind, he's a pitcher. So get used to it. He is a stud, and he is a potential MVP candidate if he stays healthy. And he will stay healthy because I said so.
What do you got on this potential greatest pitch ever that was thrown in spring training the other day?
So it's very funny. Like, I've been on the Devin Williams Airbender train for a while now. As a matter of fact, I invented the name Airbender. Like, in the middle of the night, it just came to me, like, because there was an argument of whether his pitch is a screwball or whether it's a changeup. And I'm like, let's not argue about it. Let's make a new pitch type. And it looks magical. It's sorcerer. The dude is ridiculous. So I came up with the term Airbender, and it's stuck. So I've been watching this for a while, and he is absolutely off the charts filthy. But the one he threw the other day is like, it had major league guys dumbfounded at how ridiculous it was. It just dropped off the face of the earth. And I actually overlaid it against his fastball. And you can see at one point they are literally at the same height, and the fastball ends up there and the airbender ends up in the dirt. It is potentially the filthiest pitch ever thrown. Mike Clevenger, Jojo Romero, and Jake Diekman all commented on that pitch and said, it is absolutely disgusting. No one that has ever thrown a baseball has thrown anything like that. And then not only that, he topped it off with a great K strut and then just went like that afterwards, which Amir Garrett chimed in and said, this is the way we grow the game. We grow the game through pitchers having fun and throwing ridiculous stuff. So not only did I gift that and show that overlay, but because of that pitch, I interviewed Devin Williams, and we have the Airbender pitch grip. Here we go.
Here it is. Are you ready? You ready? That's it right there.
So it's basically a circle change grip that it's a four-seam circle change.
Yep.
And it's the release that's the key.
Yeah, I'm throwing it off. Essentially, like, I like to explain it to people, like, I could just hold it here in between with these two fingers, and these are just, they're keeping it there. They're just resting. I'm throwing it all off of the middle and ring finger. Kind of the way I've learned to help other people is like, with a slider, you're kind of trying to cut that corner. I'm doing that same thing, just this way.
Can you shape it?
Yeah. Like in that at bat that you're talking about, the strikeout one, the first pitch of that at bat, I threw him. So I call it my short one. The short one, it doesn't have as much depth, and it's kind of, just right there. I just lay it in. That was like, I call it a get me over. Like I use it kind of like how guys use a curveball, like, 0-0, you want to throw it in there for a strike or whatever. And then you get a guy 0-2, 1-2, you're ahead, you have room to play with, you're trying to make him swing and miss, and you throw your nasty one, the one that he's going to swing and miss at.
So the other thing that you did on that pitch was the K-hop and the little one of those. And I don't know, did you even know you did that when you did it?
Honestly, I didn't really realize it until I watched the video later. It was just kind of, in the moment, I'm just having fun. I'm out there pitching. I threw a nasty one, sent him back to the dugout. So I had a little mini celebration.
So the funny thing is, after that, Amir Garrett chimed in and said, this is the way we grow the game. It's not from pitchers sitting there and being stone-faced, acting like you've been there before. Act like you've never done it before and get other people excited about the game. Do you feel like that's true?
Definitely. I mean, I love seeing guys like, if you punch someone out, it's not easy to do. We're all big leaguers. This is the hardest league in the world. So, I mean, if I strike out a guy, like, yeah, I'm excited about it. I'm going to show it. I think it's coming back. We got Freddie Peralta. It's one of my favorites to watch.
Yes.
He's so energetic on the mound. I love it. Like, he strikes a guy out. I call it the chainsaw. Like, he rips the little chainsaw out there. But no, I love all of that. I think that's going to attract more eyes to the game for sure, and will definitely help us grow the sport.
So we got the Major League Baseball season coming up, but we're well in the swing already of the college season. There's been some awesome stuff. What have you most enjoyed watching so far this season?
Oh, dude, it is absolutely so much fun to watch college baseball, and I'm trying to show that on my Twitter account, because I don't think everybody pays attention to college baseball, especially once the pro game, MLB game, takes off. But oh my God, like the Vandy pitching staff, when you have the two best pitchers in college baseball, arguably, probably not arguably, Jack Leiter is the best pitcher right now in college baseball. How do I know that? Because he not only threw a no-hitter, but he backed it up with a 7-inning no-hitter again and just got pulled from the game Otherwise, he likely would have thrown back-to-back no-hitters. He is that good. So why should you care about it? Well, you should care about it because when the MLB draft comes around, those two guys are going to be battling it out. I mentioned that Leiter is, right now, I think you can't argue he's the best pitcher in college. Who is the best draft prospect? Who do you think is the best draft prospect, producer Will?
Kind of tough to argue with. What was it? 16 straight no-hit innings his last two games with Leiter. So I don't know. I'm pretty intimidated by Rocker's stuff though. So I'm just thankful I'm not a scout these days.
Yeah. So like I've been talking to people and they've been saying like, I think we came to the conclusion that having the number 2 pick might be the better spot because there's less pressure on you. Who do you pick? I don't know, but it'll be fun to see. Again, I'd rather probably have the number 2 pick.
I might just pick the psycho from Ole Miss.
I love Wes. So Wes is a absolute psychopath on the mound and one of the nicest guys off the field, which I think he does on purpose because he's almost too nice of a person. So he comes on the bump and wants to kill you. So the one thing that I am looking out for this season, I think that is a new trend that I think I've helped spur on. Like I've got to say, I am glad I've had this impact on the game. And that is highlighting K-Struts. Like the college game is, not only did they learn a little bit from the program, they've seen the Marcus Stroman K-Strut, some of the other guys out there, but they've taken it up a notch. Like you watch these college guys, they just don't give a flying you-know-what out there. And there was just one yesterday where guys are hopping and jumping and strutting off the bump. Like, I think that this is the way the game's got to go. If you want to have fans, as a college baseball aficionado, you've got to watch out for this. And I love the fact that maybe this will filter down to younger levels and then up to the major leagues. But it is all what it's about right now in college. And just watch some games. You're going to love it. Or watch my Twitter account. Or watch this show, better yet, because I'm going to highlight this during the season. And we'll give out K-Strut ratings. And at the end of the year, my awards that I always do. And K-Strut of the Year is one of the best awards that I give out. So be on the lookout. This has been an awesome first show. Please make sure to subscribe and share with your friends. I'm going to K-Strut on out of here. And until next time, keep throwing flames.
Strike 3, you're out!
Exciting. We are going to bring you I'm going to throw this through the window. And this has been super exciting. Thank you for watching. I said it twice. Stop it.